Okay, in this video, I had a question about how to make this ring, but they want it to be uh, rounded, like um, like half round around here, and then, in my understanding, it that kind of fades out and then is sharp on this edge. Okay. Um, And so you can also tell, I keep wanting to, this is just a picture I pasted, I keep wanting to like rotate it. But anyway, it looks like it's wider at the bottom, more narrow at the top. You can see looks like this was used as a cutter here to do that. So let's get busy. There's probably a couple ways to do this, but if you were going to make this and then rely on fillets, it would be a big fillet here, and you might want it to just be smaller and then rounded. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for modeling this the way that I want it, and hopefully it's the correct way. And so let's start out with a finger rail, and away we go. So the whole idea is to get the outline shape the way that we want it, okay? And let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to work here, and let's see, what layer is this on? I'm going to put this on this layer. Yeah, okay. All right. So the first thing I do is determine what the width of the shank is going to be, like at 3 and 9 o'clock, and then maybe at 6 o'clock, okay? And I just like to put a line out here, so let's go ahead. I'm going to use this layer. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to make it 2 millimeters thick. So I'm just going to hold down Shift to ortho that out. Don't know who's watching this video as far as what they know. So I'll try to mention everything that I do. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and mirror this to the other side. So the shortcut for that is Control F1. Control F1 will mirror left to right. All right, as seen in the through finger viewport. And then I'm going to click on the arc command and hit F4 to start the arc, and then snap to the outside. And this is just so I can get a feel for how this is going to look. And then it looks like this is going to be thinner here. So let's call that, I don't have any dimensions, let's call that 1.2. And then hold down Shift for ortho, and up that goes. And then I'll draw another arc from F4 up to the top of that. Now, yes, you could use perhaps the offset command, but I don't want to clean all that up, so I'm just going to draw an arc with this tick mark here. And I don't know, if that seems a bit thin, we could either redo it, or I could just 2D scale from F4 straight up and 2D scale that out. Let's do it that far. I don't know what that is. If we want to find out, though, we can go here and measure it. What I end up at 1.362. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, and then we want to do this shape here. And for years now, I've been doing my blend target idea. So let's do that. So I'm going to draw a tick mark. So I'm going to draw just a line right here. And one thing that might help us to visualize this is to draw the circle. Okay, and it looks like I'm just about at 2 millimeters, maybe a little big. Let's move this over here. Yeah, So that's close enough. And let's put this up here and have a look at that. I'm going to Control F1. Okay, so looks like it needs to come over this way a bit. And of course, history's doing its thing with me. And then this would come down. Yeah. Okay. So we can do this a few different ways. I did draw this tick right here. And I think I'll use that. All right, so let's make this a different color. We'll put this on the green. Okay, and switch to that color. And then I'm going to blend from this tick to here and take a look at what we got. So I want this to come up higher because I'm looking at the thickness here, and I want that to maintain its thickness. If this is pulled down in, then it's starting to pinch here, and I'm not interested in that. And then I would like this to come up more. But let's go ahead and commit to this and say okay. And then the beauty of using blend is we can rotate this and move it and change the way that this acts. We also get a really smooth curve because we're blending and we're not relying on our own vices when we draw this. Okay. We can always tweak it later, but for now, yeah, it still seems like it gets a bit thin here. So what I'm going to do is, now that I'm close, I'm going to throw that away, and I'm going to reblend to here so that I can pull this one up more. And that'll still maintain history, but it'll have this going for it. Okay. So now when I rotate this a bit, there. So now we have a real nice shape here. Okay, and that stops here. Let's put this on a different color so we can see the tick. Okay. So now let's move this over. This is kind of where this is happening here. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and offset this. So I'm going to go ahead and offset this curve. And I'm going to just do T for through point. And just get close. All right. So there we have that going up to that. And at some point, we have to commit to this geometry. Okay. But here's the thing. The way that I'm setting this up right now, the way that I'm drawing this, I'm setting this up for a fillet scenario, because this goes to the outside of my ring, which is not going to help if I want this rounded. Okay, and so I have I need this arc then to come in, and here's why. Well, I'll show you why. But so the easiest way to do this is to go ahead and I think we'll just 2D scale this. So 2D scale from F4, and we'll pull this in. And I'm just kind of imagining a slight fillet there. So that looks good. And so all this reacts because of Rhino history, okay, which is good. It's good for me. All right, so now what we need to do is I want to go ahead and make, typically, about now, actually, here's good practice for everyone watching. I've done enough work to where I feel like I want to put that in a job bag right here. So I will. Okay. So now let's go ahead and address the fact that we need to taper this in this viewport. Okay. So in the right viewport, let's go ahead and now again, I don't have any numbers, but I'm looking at about 3 millimeters at the top. So there's 1.5, then 1.5, and at the bottom I'm almost 5. Let's go here, like so. And you'll notice that I made this line on purpose well past the extent of my curves, or I don't know about well past, but past. Yeah. And the same up here at the top. Let's see where the top of this is. Yeah, it's past. Okay. That's important. If it's too short, if it was down here, then we wouldn't get the curve from two views that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and mirror this with Control F1, and then let's join these. Now this is gonna kill history. There's no more history for this. Let's put this on. We'll put that on the finger rail layer. This one's gonna hang out for a minute. And I'm going to put these on just another color. We'll do orange because I want to turn that off. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at here. Okay, so now, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put this on white. I'm going to put this on white so the curves that I'm using to sketch this out are on white. And then I'll switch to this layer because we're going to go here and here and then go up to curve from two views, which is right here. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this one and hit Control F2, which is mirror front to back. All right. And we could still tweak this if we wanted. If I hit F10 and turn on the control points, I could move this out or in, and that would all update. So you could still get an idea visually of what you want if you're not going by the numbers. Okay. And then let's go ahead and I'm going to click here and hit F6. So I selected the ring rail, and profile builder is what we're looking for. I want the profile to be 2, so I'll hold down Shift to get to the 2. And I'm going to just kind of wing this. I'm looking at the outside rail, and you could come over here and make sure, or maybe here is better. Yeah, that's good. All right, so enter. Okay, so in my head, this nice rounded edge here is what I had in mind when I scaled this white arc that was down here. When I scaled that in, this is what I was thinking of. Okay, and so we need to split this, and this is a little tricky to split. We would want to split it with well, either the green or the white. Okay, so let's grab the profile, which is here, and let's say you get split by, let's pick the white one and hit OK. Split failed. Objects may not be within tolerance of one another. So sometimes you can split an object with a planar curve. In this case, no go. All right. And so let's test that. Let's test that theory. You could, I'm going off script here. I think this will work. So this could be split by, yeah. So a planar curve can split an object. Now, the fact that this didn't work is no big deal. What I would do is I would go here and I would right click this line tool because it goes both sides. So I click there, I start here, and I can go out in both directions. And so now U gets split by U, and that should have worked, and it did. Okay, so let's make this yellow. So we've got white and yellow. I'm going to control F1 and move this to the other side. And let's start our first surface. So we're going to go surface sweep 2, uno, dos, and make sure you click down here because that's the direction that the sweep is going. And then here and here. And we can decide, do we want it to get thicker the wider it goes? So that's what's happening here. For however wide this goes, it's getting deeper. Or I can maintain, okay, and there you can see it. Now it maintains that height the whole way. It's probably what I want. Okay, so there's the start of that. And next, let's take this. I'm going to work on the inside still, just so we can get a feel for how this ring is going to look. Because if it's not looking the way you want, you'd probably bail and fix it. But so I'm going to go this circle, the ring rail, and my curve that determines the taper. And I'm going to do curve from 2 views with that one. And you can come over here if you want to your latest history or whatever. All right, so there's that one. Let's put that on some other layer. Let's do this brighter green. That's too much green. Sometimes I use the setting layer. Okay. So now I'm going to control F2 that one, and we're going to work on this layer, and we're going to go sweep 2. We'll click up here because that's the direct. Oh, hang on. I need this curve. Control F1 over here. Okay. All right. Sweep 2 here to here. That to that. All right. Yay. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then we're going to do sweep 2 again. This time for sure we're going to use the edge of the surface. So there's the edge of a surface, goes around there. This one, edge of the surface. And then this profile here, could use the edge of the surface on that one too. But the profile matches up. Maintain height, it's on. So there's the inside of that ring. Okay, and everything's all nice and rounded and looks filleted, but this, you're not gonna, here's what I was talking about. You're gonna get this with the fillet, and then it's gonna come around and stop and go flat. It's not gonna do this. So that's the trick here, is getting this to taper and do all this. Easy done with just a profile if we're just going around. That's simple, but it's all this business that throws a wrench in the works, if you will. Okay, so now we have this and this. Let's go ahead and let's blend. This tick here, I'm going to put on orange. Let's see what's on orange. Oh yeah, those circles. Yeah, we don't need those. Okay. And then I will blend again, because that's what I do, from here to here. All right. And if you want to pull these down together, you hold down Shift. You can see, press Shift and select for symmetry. Okay, we will. And then I click, then I can let up on Shift. That was what I was doing there. Okay. So there's that. I love it. Okay. And if this is, whatever shape you want there is fine. This may, I did not make this long enough for this. So I am going to extend an ISO curve. I do that about maybe once every 3 years. Well, we'll just use extend. There was another tool I was thinking of that doesn't really apply, but here's extend right here. Extend curve. Select curve to extend. The type is a line, and we click it and we keep going. Okay. Ta-da. I was thinking of extending an interp curve. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. So let's say you have an interp curve and you stop and you're like, oh man, I wish I would have kept drawing around this way. Okay. Well, if that's the case, you can come up in the curve menu, you can come up to this one and continue an interpolated curve. So you click that, select an open end, and there you go. It's as if you were still drawing. All right. This wasn't an interpolated curve anyway, so I don't know. I guess I just really wanted to show that button, so I did. Having said all that, let's go to here. I might have been premature doing this. Let's go ahead now though, and these are both planar, as you can see, these two right here. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to trim this and this. All right, there we go. Now's your chance to change whatever, if you want this thicker. Don't let this fool you. There's still metal here too. So I'm not going to worry about it. I kind of have a hesitation to have this be sharp right here. Seems like it might be hard to clean out. Perhaps a problem in casting. I don't do any casting, but I watched the movie. So I'm going to deal with that. And I think I like to just draw a circle and then trim, the trim button, and then of course use blend. And again, we can hold down Shift and control that. All right, so it's time to join those. And let's go here and here and do curve from two views, which has fallen off the edge of my recent tools. Boop. Okay. I need to get a wider monitor. So there's that. Let's put that on yellow so we can see it. And let's do Control F2 and do that. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Here's where I really want to do the... now, if I like this shape, I guess I could I could do this and do curve from two views and get that. So I guess we'll roll with that. Control F2, put that back there. And so now I have that. Okay. So next, I'm going to draw. This is where we have to decide, where does this fade out? Okay. And I don't know the answer to that. It's not really my project. I'm going to have it fade out to go sharp right up here at the top. Okay. Yeah, I think so. And at this point, I need some other business on the left side. Okay, so you and you go over here. And I guess you and you do too. There we go. And you do. All right. But we'll probably just work on the right side. Okay, so now I need this one and this one and this one and this one to, I'm going to press J and then hit enter, which we have that in Jewel Beetle. We have join as an alias key, so you can just hit J, enter, okay, and that'll join those curves up. All right. Oh, I didn't do this, but let's see. Okay, so let's put this on a yellow layer. These would be better served on maybe the ring rail curve. All right, still on the metal layer, surface sweep 2, go from you to you. So I'm heading down, and then here to here. All right, so we still have this just is fading out, okay? And then this will go Control F1 to the other side. Honestly, let's see. We could do this if we wanted that to be, well, let's finish this and let's finish this and then we'll see what we get. So you and you and you and you and you and you, I guess, and you can join. Two closed curves, that's good news. Okay, and then we'll go surface sweep 2, and we'll go from that curve to this curve. All right, it's lovely. So we've made that shape. And all we need to do now is finish it. I'm going to let something happen that is probably going to happen so that you can see what happens. How's that for a happening? By happenstance. I don't know how many other happen words I can use there. I'm going to split the edge. I need to make a surface here, okay? And there's 3 or 4 ways to do that. Let's explore those for 2 seconds or 5 minutes, whatever happens first. I'm going to extrude this. I want it to go to both sides, so you can see in my menu, if I hold down Shift and then move, it'll extend both sides. Okay, and we could try splitting this. You get split by that curve and, oh wait, you get split by this and this. That split that, so I could throw that away. This edge right here, that edge is what I need. If I were to hold down, let's dupe it. Let's dupe that edge. So let's make it a curve. So dupe edge, right? Wait, come on. Dupe edge. Select edges to dupe right there. Okay. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and extrude that out to make a surface. That way I know it completely intersects this one. So you get split by this surface here. And let's see how we did. We did good. So there is, the fact that this was to be sharp here is how I got to this point. Obviously, we can Control F2 and get that to the other side. So there's that way. Okay, another way that I thought I might do this, although I was pretty happy with that, is to use patch. Okay, but the patch has to stop. Let's see what we get. Let's go surface. Here's good old patch. We pick the edge of this surface. Oh, it stops there. That's good. And then we go to the edge. Yay. And to the edge. And then to the edge of this one. All right, we're good. The thing that I thought was going to happen didn't happen, so make sure you don't have adjust tangency on unless you want it to poof out like that, which is pretty weird. So we'll turn that off, hit preview again, and hit OK. And there is a patch surface too. Wasn't very painful. And let's right click on here, and join is right here too if you're a button person. So there you go. If you snapped everywhere and did your due diligence, when we click on this, you can see this is a closed poly surface. So there you go. All right. That is how I would build this. If going forward you wanted this to be, rounded here at this point, I would probably try for a variable radius fillet is probably what I would shoot for. So right here, here's fillet, select edges to fillet. There you go. Okay. I'll hit enter. Okay. At the beginning, we want probably 0. So I'm going to go 0 there and 0 there. Come on, 0. There we go. And then add handle. And I would add a handle here and here. I would add a handle down here at that intersection and at that one. And then probably one there. Okay, so there's the handles. Here, you can type if you want. So let's go 0.25, enter. That seems respectable. Click here and type 0.25. I haven't tried this yet, so the fillet might blow up in my face. And if you've ever met a fillet, they do that. I'm going to do 0.15 here so that I don't run into trouble. Maybe 0.25 would have worked there. I don't know. 0.15 here. And then here, let's go back to 0.25. So it kind of matches. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll go a little more, like 0.4 or something. And hit enter. Yeah, it failed. Filleting is evil. It's inherently evil. I don't know that I'm going to chase this. Maybe we'll do this a different way. Let's do... I'm thinking. I'm going to hit pause. Okay, I'm back. Nobody knows how long that was, but it was... I didn't try anything. I was just kind of sitting here thinking, there's ways to try to get this fillet to work. The fact that we have... It seems like we have good geometry. The fillet is right here. Okay, we'll put that... Let's just put that on purple. And so it seems to be good. It just had trouble splitting the surfaces. So, you know, you could say you get split by, and then you could pick the fillet. You get split by, did it do it? Oh. Yeah, it did it. Wasn't expecting that. There you go. So you and you join. And then I would take this and split it this way, down that way, and throw the back away. And then select this and go there. And hit J for join. And let's put this back on this layer. So, what is this now? It's open. That's where model repair comes in. And that's probably why the split failed. Let's see where the problem is. My video's like I'm going off. I'm going way off. Oh, just right there. Yeah, that's brutal. Wouldn't fix it. Don't want to fix it. Not in the mood to fix it. If we're going to produce this ring and send it to a printer, I'm going to immediately click here and go to production and hit model repair, and off it goes. Not worth chasing whatsoever. Okay, so there's fillet and variable radius fillet at that, and a failed fillet, so yay. That's usually why I don't fillet much. Okay, so let's say that we want this to be rounded all the way. Okay, now we've got this tight edge here, which is an issue, but let's see what we can do. I'm afraid. Actually, when the request was to have this be sharp here, I was like, yay, because it's way easier. All right, what are we at? 38 minutes? All right, time to get this thing out of here. Okay, I am going to, at this point, I'm going to right-click on split, and I'm going to go right here where these match up and split this curve right there. I'm then going to Control F2, mirror that over there, and I am going to draw a curve. Oh, I got it. I know what I'm going to do. I didn't really practice this ring. Sometimes I practice. I kind of looked at it and formed a plan, and so I'm winging it. All right. I drew a curve from snap to there, and then I'm going to scale it in a bit, and then I'm going to move it up a bit, and then of course, I'm going to blend, and I'm going to blend from this curve to this curve. What is going on? Am I clicking these things? No, I'm like moving I'm like spazzing out or something. There we go. And then, there we go. And Control F2. And then this and this and this are a, ooh, man, that seems, I'm going to move this down a bit. Right, there we go. And I'm going to move it out a little bit. No, I'm not. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to join these. Join. J for join. Okay. And then I'm going to hold down Control and I'm going to hold down Shift and Control. And I'm going to click here and here and here. I'm holding down Shift and Control still, and I'll click here. In Rhino 8, they give you a preview of the surface you're going to pick. Super nice. And I'm going to hit delete. Okay, so we got to that point, and I'm going to go ahead and take this curve, and I'm going to go to Transform, Orient to. Now, mind you, we've come down a path, and so I'm kind of reverse engineering this at this point. So I did orient 2 points, and I snapped here and here, and then I snapped here and here, and it transferred this curve from here to here. Should we do it again? Let's do it again. I didn't really say what I was doing. Okay, so orient 2, copy equals yes, and 3D scale. Those are the defaults, so if you didn't mess with those, they should be on. So there's 1, 2, and then 1, 2. I hope this works. I'm going to hold down Control and Shift and delete this. And then I am going to watch this thing implode. Surface Sweep 2. How's that for confidence? All right, let's do chain edges in case we get to a point where we need to do that. Select the first segment for the first rail. So we click on the edge right here, and then I'm going to do the edge here. So there was my 2. That's it for the first rail. Enter. And then I'm going to pick, and I'm doing the poly surface edge on purpose so that in case the rail or the curve doesn't quite match, then hopefully I won't get a naked edge. There's 2. So that's it for the second rail. Then I hit enter, and I'm going to go from U. And the reason I put this profile up here is to keep it short. If I didn't have this one, then this really tall profile would come all the way around here. It'd be pretty tall, and then it would probably get into a nightmare here. And here's this. There we go. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. And then I'll select that, Control F1. And we hold down Shift and all that, and hit J for join. Oh, still open. This is trouble. This is bad modeling practice right there. I'll show you. No good. Don't do that. It's no good. This was too tall. Either this radius was too narrow, you know, if I was just more there, then I would be okay. So we'll fix it. This video, I remember back in the day I would do videos and everybody's like, "Oh man, I love it when you leave all the problems in, because you know, if you're a perfect modeler, then why are you watching my video?" I wanted to see where the naked edge was. Really? Right there. There's on one side. So I know how we're fixing that. I'm going to go here, go to cutters, go to here, and I'm throwing this away like a bad habit. Or even a good habit. I'm still throwing it away because I have a good side here. Let's just mirror this for fun and join it. J for join. Closed. Yay. All right, but I'm going to hit undo, and I want to fix this. I want to fix that. Let me think how I want to fix this. I think what I'll do is let's do this. Let's draw a cylinder, I guess. And the cylinder, we'll turn off snapping. The cylinder is going to go right here, and it's going to envelop that. And then we'll come out here, make it wider, move it over. How'd we do? It's itty bitty, that's for sure. That needs to be bigger. If you hold down Shift and click on here, you can 2D scale. There we go. Bigger yet. There. I want to make sure that we cut it here. All right, let's see how this goes. Again, haven't practiced. I'm kind of just winging this, which is, I guess, fun for me. All right, there's that. We'll throw it away. There was the problem. Don't need this anymore. All right, and then let's go ahead, and I'm going to blend. I love blend. I'm going to blend here, and I'm going to blend from you to, that's the first edge. We could do the whole thing. Let's go here, here, here. There's the first edge. Enter. Here's the next edge. Enter. All right, how does that look? A bit deep. So let's lock these and pull it in. All right. Yay. And then, ooh man, we could do. I have several ideas. Let's try patch. And we'll do adjust tangency on so that it hits tangent. Yeah. I vote that that is good enough. I'll do my other idea on the other side though. Let's see how it looks. Okay. Surface sweep 2. Let's just try that. Sweep 2. There's one edge. There's the other edge. Oh, did I have? No. Okay, and go there, and maintain height off. On. No, that's no good. If we were to split this edge right here, split edge right about there. Okay, so now what we need to do is surface sweep to chain edges. The first rail is going to be from here to here, stop. and then enter for the second rail there, and then enter, and then sweep shape is this, and then let's pick point and force it to a point there. That doesn't matter. Let's hit OK, and let's look at that surface. Just another idea. This one's what I want. Oh no. Oh no, it's a shade issue, I think. Is it? Let's hit Control F2 and get that to the other side. And then let's join this and see what we got. Join, J for join. Oh, bumming. That isn't an issue or a shade issue. All right. Wow, this video just keeps getting more fun. Let's try network surface. I have to have 3. I have to split this on this side. So let's go split there. Now I have 1, 2, 3. Network surf requires at least 3 separate edges. 2, that's what was doing it. It was failing. Tangency is on, so it should go tangent on all these sides. And let's see if this joins up. So J for join, it does, yay. Probably have a naked edge though. That's the whole point of it. I'm going to hit undo. And you know, I think what I'll do is this one still split? Let's see. No, it's not. So I'm going to split this edge right there. And then go 1, 2, 3. Just in case these aren't exactly the same, I am going to just make this again. So I don't know if anybody's watching this video anymore. It's kind of fun. I like fixing stuff like that. Let's mirror this to the other side. And let's, come on, join it. J for join. Close poly surface. Woohoo! Wasn't expecting that, honestly. I was just going to hit stop on the video anyway. There you go. If after all this you decided that, you know, maybe this is kind of thick here or something, last thing I would show is probably cage edit, transform, cage edit. I'll do a bounding box. I'll hit enter. The point count in X across, I need a fair amount of them. I'm going to do 9. And I'm going to do an odd number so that I have a center one. Okay, so 9. Depth-wise, not as important. 4 is fine. Z count, let's do 11. And there we go. And so that will allow me to keep, I almost wish I had more on the X. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these, and then hold down Shift and grab these, and then pull. That's pretty much what I wanted. Yeah, I just wanted that thinner right there. Here's the old one, undo. Here's the new one, redo, which is Control Z, by the way. Control Z is undo, and Control Y is redo. All right, boop. Okay, there's that project.